Good morning, all. Happy Wednesday. How we doing out there? What's up, Shayak? Hey, Isaiah. Good morning, Jesse. I say diggy diggy to that, my friend. Any comment on the down move? Shayak is asking. Nope. Just that it is a down move. That is for sure. Looks like a trend to me. I would play it as such. Morning, Bill. Hey, Neil. Can't remember if I said what's up yet or not. Yeah, so yesterday we basically made it to the top of the range and turned down. Yeah, I mean, if you zoom out, this is all just one big range past week or two. Morning, Greg. Hey, Tom. Morning, Squid. Hey, Archer. I do think it is possible. I will say I do think it is possible that this downtrend already has two legs. You could pretty easily draw this narrow, and that actually fits really nice. So this might be the case. If you're drawing to this swing, it leaves a lot of empty room. So I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to wait and see if the market keeps going down or not. Morning, Robert. On ES, I think same kind of deal. You know, we could easily just keep this channel tight. This thing might be played out. So I'd be open to both possibilities. Really just depends on how we open here. And we are going to open here in about 10 seconds. There we go, market's open. Okay, getting that bounce right off the open. So if our wider channel is legit, we're gonna need to see rejection at the EMA. Like we can't fudge about that. It's got to be pretty obvious. Cool. A little bit of rejection here. We get another rejection at the EMA. I'd be interested in a short. But looks like we're already about to get a new low. So this will be the channel playing out. Move down, break, new low. So now we really can expect a bounce. Nasdaq also had a break and a new low. Move down, break, new low. So on both indices, we are expecting a bounce. Hey, Cricket, good morning. Blue collar tech. Yeah, I don't really see a spike for that to be the case. Maybe. So blue colors calling out maybe a spike down and a secondary channel. Kind of. But usually that comes off like a legitimate spike down. This isn't, it's just kind of like a regular move down. So I don't know. It could be the case. It could be the case, but I'm gonna stick to this for the time being until that becomes really obvious. Still anticipating a bounce here. Starting to get it a little bit. And if we get two higher lows, I might be interested in a long. We already have one right here. If we can get one more right there, I'd be interested. All right, almost got our higher low here. Kind of closed doji. Not too interested in that. Could work out. Got another bearish bar. Starting to look like we're compressing around this area. Nasdaq as well. Sitting around this level for now. Big pop up there on the Nasdaq. S&P trying to head up as well. My overall bias, just so you guys know, is pretty much that the market is not going to go very far here in the next couple of weeks with election, with earnings, etc. I don't think that the big guys are going to pick a major direction. So, I mean, you can see in the Nasdaq here, we've been essentially in the same place since the beginning of October. We haven't really gone anywhere. And then especially this last week, we really are in a tight range. So I think we will likely stay more or less in this area for the next couple of weeks. Doesn't mean there won't be trades. I mean, there's still, there's lots of movement in between those areas. But yeah, I don't think we can expect like a major trend day out of the zone. A little bit of a divergence. The Nasdaq is trying to go up. S&P is back down at the bottom of this little range. Hey Naor, good morning. Hey Aaron, good morning to you. Welcome. Not exactly sure how to answer your question. How many strategies? I mean, it's all, there's different setups, all kind of under the one umbrella of price action strategies, price action trading. So several different setups. I would still call it kind of one strategy. Now we're asking what happens if I canceled an account I didn't want. I have no idea, dude. I have no idea what you're even talking about. What platform? I'm not customer service on any, I don't work for any company, so you have to, whatever company is you're talking about, you're gonna have to take that up with them. Make sure, guys, that you're hitting the like button this morning. Would greatly appreciate that. We have 70 people in here, only 12 likes. Do it for Tom. Tom comes in here, asks us to smash the like button. Don't leave him high and dry. It's like someone holding up a high five and you just walk by. Morning, Jersey. Market's kind of feeling heavy here. S&P has rejected the EMA rather, almost 3 times now. The Nasdaq is turning back down after trying to get out of the top of the range. It has a generally bearish lean to it. So yeah, market's feeling a little bit heavy right now, but we will see if they actually drop or not. Price action wise, we would expect a bounce here. Good morning, MM. Here's a little bit of that bounce we were expecting. See how far it goes. Nasdaq also working its way up towards the top of this little mini range. Jeff asking about the second entry long. No, definitely not thinking long here. The main bias is down. Right, you have a downtrend. That's the main bias for the day so far. And yes, it did have a break and a new low. But before taking a long, you really want you want an uptrend to be established. So it's not a good practice to try to take longs at the very bottom of a downtrend. So you want to take longs on the pullback of an uptrend. So that's how you want your longs to look, is hey, we got an uptrend and we're pulling back, not we got a downtrend and let's try to predict the bottom. Thanks, blue collar, I appreciate it. I mean, look, any of us can like go back over a chart in retrospect and pick out all sorts of trades that worked, but the question is like, is it actually a high probability in real time? That's where it gets tricky. So yeah, you have to be, in my opinion, you have to be pretty selective if you're gonna have long-term success at this. At least that's what's worked for me. The range continues here. Nasdaq had a big bullish bar at the bottom, but also bearish bias, so still have some rejection at the EMA, still kind of an overall bearishness here, but look at the bottom is pretty static, so a wedge forming. The ES looks a little bit more classically like a range up and down. Maybe slight bearish bias, but not really. So either way, we're gonna have to wait till we get out of this congestion to consider anything. Nasdaq getting above the EMA, and in order to consider a trade here, I would need to see us legitimately get out of this congestion and then come back to retest it. So that's going to be what we're looking for. Move out solidly, come back, retest it, it holds, then we can go up. Not really interested in a short here. Unless, I guess, you know, maybe if we get some rejection at the top of the range, I might consider that. Would prefer a long, though, if it sets up. Here we go, little bounce up. We're at the EMA again though. We shall see if we get rejected. I would agree with Tom though, the longer that we compress in this range, the more violent this breakout or breakdown is going to be. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, just watch out here, guys. Watch out here. This thing can really take off in either direction. The market does not like to be compressed forever. It just, then you start getting orders on both sides, and so once you start to break out, you start to hit stops, and that fuels the move even more. So yeah. Thanks, S2. Oh, I'm just gonna call you G Unit. I'm totally fine with being background noise. That's I'll gladly accept that role. If I can just be a good reminder to people to take your time, you know, be selective, then I've done my job. Starting to get a little bit of movement out there. Nasdaq dropped down to a new low. This might just be to trap some bears, some people trying to chase the market. We'll find out soon enough if this thing just rockets down here. S&P as well made a new low. See if this can gain some traction. We do have yesterday's low right below us. Actually, that is not yesterday's low. I think we're already at yesterday's low. No, we're not. Okay. So it's right below us. Wouldn't be surprised if the market goes and tests that. The Nasdaq's starting to legitimately drop down here. Yeah, we're just about 3 points away from yesterday's low. Hey, Tick Trader. Good morning to you. See if selling starts to pick up. All right, we officially are below yesterday's low. So this is where we really need to see what sellers are made of. If the selling is legit, then we are not going to get back above yesterday's low and hold it. We're not going to come up here and then build a base. Like, if you see this kind of action, we're not going to have a bearish trend day. So this low needs to hold. We can come back up, of course, but we need to quickly be below it and, you know, ideally have something like this where we come back, retest it, and then continue down. Over on the NAS, we are below yesterday's low. We have not cleared the low from the 20th. Sorry, the Monday, the 21st. There's a lot of, you know, again, zooming out on the Nasdaq, we're basically at the bottom of the range. So, you know, if this breaks, it's going to be massive. If we get below this area, I mean, there's nothing really stopping us from dropping down, you know, 100 points. So just as always, when you're at the bottom of a range, you're mostly thinking that we're probably going to go up from here. Look what's happened every other time we were in this area. This led to a bounce, even after some pretty big moves. So just watch it. Don't be shorting down here. You know, if we confirm below all this action, come back and retest it. Okay, like, yeah, that's legitimate, but you really need to break all of this first. Getting that bounce here on the Nasdaq. See if this is just kind of a dead cat bounce that's going to then drop down, or if this is legitimate buying at the bottom of the weekly range, if you will. There's a nice little bounce. See if this uptrend is legitimate. Continues up right at the EMA right now, so pretty critical. How we doing out there, guys? Everyone all right? Holding up? Not digging any holes? Staying patient. I had a kid, Jeff. This Nasdaq trend has a little break, almost a new high. Thanks, G Unit, appreciate it. ES already below the EMA again. As I mentioned, this is totally normal. This could still be within a bearish trend day, coming below yesterday's low, popping above it. If we can come back below it again, good sign for the bears. Then we can start exploring wider trends. I don't know, something like this might fit pretty well. We'll see. Not going to do any of that until we've gotten below yesterday's low again. S&P dropping down back below yesterday's low. This is what we want for a bearish trend day. Nasdaq hasn't really joined yet. It's looking a little bit stronger. All right, S&P new low. And then putting in a big green candle. Not what you want to see when you get a new low. I want to see some follow through from that. Nasdaq didn't even get that new low. Showing some strength here. Nasdaq bouncing here. I didn't really have a, looks like some people were taking a second entry short. I didn't really have it on my chart. I really only had this one leg up and then just kind of dropped down with no signal bar or anything. I mean, if it set up good on your guys' chart, that's great, but did not set up on mine. Going with this wider down trend for the time being. We still need to make sure though that we are staying below yesterday's low. So now that we got below it once, came above and got below it again, we really don't want to see any action up in here. You want to see this get rejected now. So I would for sure consider a setup if we could get, you know, a bearish bar right around here. That'd be nice. Play that rejection. Over on Nasdaq, we don't have, you know, it's actually quite a bit stronger than the S&P. We don't have as clear of a move here, but you know, we could explore a channel like this again, needing to get below both of these lows really. These are lows from yesterday, 2 days ago, basically the bottom of the range from this whole last week. All right, big bounce on the Nasdaq off of yesterday's low. S&P is also getting back above yesterday's low, so this is where shorts have to be really cautious. You do not want to see this start to hold as any form of support. You know, if we start getting this kind of action, the bearish trend day is done. It will die there. So just watch this area. Again, this is the bottom of the range, you know, and you would expect the most probabilistic outcome at the bottom of the range is to go up. Yeah, this is the kind of move you do not want to see after attempting to break yesterday's low. So I'm not really too stoked about a short anymore. I think more likely we're going to continue this bounce up. I am sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. That is why I preach patience all day long. Yeah, would encourage you to check out the Discord, come learn how I trade, come trade with me throughout the day. Good way to improve on your patience. Nasdaq still bouncing. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say I think the low of the day might be in, guys. I am on Discord. I switched to the text channels, so I send screenshots and messages about what I'm seeing in the market, what setups I'm looking for. I also put out daily lessons breaking down each day's price action so that you can learn how to analyze the price movements, how to figure out what's the most likely outcome and take really high probability trades. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, all the links and stuff are below. Move up, continuing on NAS. Which has been relatively strong to the S&P this whole time. Randomizer, you're stealing my line, bro. Keep in mind too, guys, that we have a gap above us. So the market, if we start to get in the gap, we can make some serious progress towards that. Let's see, where is it? Right here on the S&P. If we get above this congestion here, we will be into the gap, and then most likely we'll go and fill that. Got it going on NAS as well. There's the gap above us. If we get above that congestion, we'll be in the gap. And most likely, again, we will go and fill it. We're right at that congestion, right at the high of the day. See if we break above. See you later, Shayak. Lex biggest influences would be Al Brooks, Mac from Price Action Trading Systems, and Pete Stolzers, who runs the One Option community. Yo, Shem. Yo. All right, so I'm still leaning on the long side. Want to see the Want to see the EMA hold here. If it does, if we get nice 2 bounces off it, I'll be looking to take a long here on the Nasdaq. Could also consider it on the S&P if the EMA also holds. Want 2 nice bounces off of it. We'll be off to the races. So we will cross our fingers for a setup. Looks like the S&P is going to go up without that pullback. All right. S&P already had a little break and new high, so I probably won't buy the pullback anymore. Nasdaq still has a chance. If this little move on the Nas gets a new high, we'll have to pause looking for a long. Need it to pull back now if we're going to get a setup. Yeah, looks like it's gonna get a new high. So again, like I said, I would venture to say the low of the day is in. Don't think we will likely get any meaningful new low. If we can confirm above the opening price, the high of the day, if we can confirm above this area, we'll most likely go and fill this gap. Same deal on the S&P. Here's the high of the day. If we can get above that, we'll most likely go and fill this gap. So just have to wait and see what happens. No side has controlled the day, so probably we'll continue the pattern of just big ranges, with a couple weeks away from election and mega cap earnings, etc., etc. I don't think, as I've mentioned many times, I don't think the market's really going to make a major move one way or the other. So trade accordingly, you know, play between the levels, look for moves in between. Don't get suckered into jumping in late to a move because you think it's going to keep going. That's how you get ruined. So anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I'm going to switch over to Discord. I appreciate y'all. I hope you have an excellent trading day. Trade safe. Trade smart. Don't blow your money. All right? Have a great one. See you tomorrow, guys. Peace.